All right, Larry Krueger with you after training camp practice number 17 with the good and the bad of training camp practice 17. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig in a Pickle, best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in their two locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in both spots from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig in a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Get the brisket chili. Go say hi to Damon, go say hi to Mary, and make sure you tell them that Larry Krueger sent you. Let's talk a little bit about the good and the bad from training camp practice number 17. The good, right out of the chute, was Brock Purdy. I mean, Brock Purdy was fantastic today. He was just throwing strike after strike after strike. He got the majority of the reps, as he has in many of the recent practices. Purdy's the Niners' number one guy going into week one, and today he was fantastic. He went 16 of 19. Now, he did have one mistake, which was a pick six, which was a great play by Drake Jackson, who tipped it to himself and then ran it back down the right sideline. Drake was absolutely fantastic. Drake back at practice for the first time today, making his presence felt with that pick six. That was probably the highlight play of the entire practice. Probably the best thing we saw all day was Drake Jackson on that pick six, and the fact that he's healthy and playing great. But Purdy's playing at a really high level. I thought Brock's best ball today was a deep cross to Deebo Samuel. Some of the receivers really had great days today, and Deebo was one of them, but that was just a flat dime on a deep crosser to Deebo. Deebo, Jennings, Ayuk, they all love running those crossing routes, and they're really good at it. They don't tiptoe across the middle. They run across the middle of the field with conviction, like they own it. And Deebo just, I thought, had a great practice. But on that particular ball, it was a nice catch by Deebo, but it was a perfect throw by Brock Purdy. So that was a very, very good play right there. From Brock and really from Deebo as well. Sam Darnold was 6 of 7. Trey Lance was 4 of 7, and then at least the numbers that I kept. But I will say this, Sam Darnold had 2 dimes. He had one dime to Tay Martin that was just incredible. Beautiful pass to Tay Martin on a deep ball. One of the best plays of the day was Sam going to Tay on that one. And then also Darnold had another one on a, this was probably a sack. I think this was on a Javon Hargrave sack on the play. But, in camp, even if you sack the quarterback, the play continues. And Darnold scrambled, kept the play alive, ran out of the pocket, got outside the tackle box to his left. And as he was running to his left, he threw a ball to Ronnie Bell. And this was a great play all the way around. It was a great play by Darnold to show that he could run to his left and then throw with his right hand, his throwing hand, and throw a dime to Ronnie Bell. But it was a great play by Bell, too, because Bell ran his route and then worked back to the quarterback when he saw Darnold had escaped contain and was trying to make a play. Great veteran play by Ronnie Bell and a dime by Sam Darnold. As far as good today at practice, man, Deebo Samuel was fantastic. Deebo looked great. I mean, Deebo's lighter, faster. I think everybody at this point has already seen that. But, I mean, he caught 3, 4, 5 balls today. I mean, he looked really good. And as the practice went on, he just got better and better and better. I mean, Deebo had a fantastic practice. Obviously, a great play was Drake Jackson's pick six. That was a phenomenal play. Also, Jake Moody made a 42-yard field goal, and it was absolutely right down the middle. Shanahan says he likes to see him high and down the middle. This one was high and right down the middle, 42 yards out from Jake Moody. Javon Hargrave, Hargrave, on some reps doesn't look like he's going a million miles an hour, but, man, there are other reps where he looked great. He had a sack of I believe it was Darnold. But he made a couple of plays where he got into the backfield and showed that incredible quickness that Javon has. What a skill set he has. Kalia Davis came back today from his injury, and he practiced. That was a positive as well. He made a nice play against the run. If there was one kind of backup player that is absolutely making an assault on trying to make this roster, it's the man they call Big Play Tay. Tay Martin was huge today. He made play after play after play. He probably caught 4 or 5 balls. 3 of them were down the field. he just makes a lot of plays. He's got great ball skills. I mean, I would really hate to cut that player because, I mean, you're talking about a guy who could be a real threat in the red zone. He's got terrific ball skills, great hands. He's 6'3", long arms, knows how to play the game, very productive collegiate receiver. Last year he was on the practice squad and kind of got stronger in the upper body, did a lot of lifting. I talked to him after the game the other night, and he said, yeah, I just worked at it. I stayed here in the off season. I worked on running routes and getting stronger, and he just looks great. And he just continues to get better and better and better. Tay Martin had a terrific practice today. Talent on the negative side, Tazimo, the rookie linebacker from San Diego State, trying desperately to make the team. He had a dropped interception that looked like it could have been a pick six from Sam Darnold. Talanoa Hufanga, who obviously has the strong safety job locked up. Hufanga is, Hufanga's nice. I mean, I should say, Hufanga's, one of the best young players in the league. He, though, had an interception today on a ball, I believe it was from Darnold, and he dropped it. So that wasn't good. Also, as far as the good and the bad, on the bad side today, no Robert Beal Jr. Robert Beal Jr. badly needs to practice because he's a guy that has a real opportunity to not just make this team, but to establish himself as an NFL speed rusher on one of the best defensive lines in the entire league, if not the best. And in a lot of ways, I think Beal can be like the missing factor for the Niners up front because he's so fast. He's so athletic off the edge. And we're talking about a guy who runs sub 4.5. He's got great speed, and he can dip that shoulder. And when he's on the field, man, he looks like a difference maker. He looks like the kind of guy who is the ideal guy who's suited to play opposite Nick Bosa. But, if you can't, the old saying, you can't make the club in the tub. You know what I mean? You gotta get out on the field. And he's missed a lot of practices with injuries. I think it's a knee-related issue, but I can't say for sure. So that wasn't good because, man, Robert Beal Jr. badly needs to be on the field. And Kerry Hyder also didn't practice today. On a good note, Elijah Mitchell practiced, Drake Jackson practiced, Javon Kinlaw practiced. It was good to see those guys out there running around. Also, on a good note, on a bad note, Danny Gray and Ray McCloud are both hurt. Danny Gray has got a clavicle. It's not broken, but, they think he could be out probably a significant amount of time, maybe a month. And Ray McCloud's dinged up. That's the vertical speed and the deep speed and the return. Everybody's got a role in this wide receiver core. For Danny and for Ray, their role is to run the deep routes and to contribute on special teams. And both guys are hurt right now. So the Niners, according to Aaron Wilson, have brought in a couple different receivers. They brought in Corey Coleman today for a workout. Now, Coleman played for Baylor last year, he came to Baylor a few years ago. He came out in the draft in 2016. Cleveland took him high up in the draft. And then he recently has been in the USFL, and he's been tearing it up. He had 669 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns in the USFL. And Corey Coleman is a slot receiver with speed, and he can help you as a return man. And then, there's Miller, the tight end from Memphis, who, was drafted in the second round by the Bears and has floated around a little bit. According to Aaron Wilson, they signed him. He was on the field today, but not practicing. So, it's good and bad. It's good that they've found 2 young receivers that have the ability to help them at special teams and help them in the slot. It's bad that they've lost Ray McCloud and Danny Gray, and their status for the upcoming season is very much in question. So, just a couple notes there to take note of. Also, we talked to Steve Wilks after practice and a couple of the guys that he really liked in the game. So this would all be good. Would be T.Y. McGill, Marlon Davidson. He mentioned Jalen Graham's playing really well at middle backer. And then he singled out Jair Brown, Samuel Womack, and even Demo Lenore as DBs that are playing well. So there you go, the good and the bad from training camp practice number 17. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show, and thanks to all you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.